One of the cool things about Murmur is that you'll be able to use her in the upcoming selection quest to grab King Moraga, the greatest king that Ardra's ever seen. But is she worth your time as an EX unit besides the Earth selection quest? Let's take a look and find out. As always, thank you to warofthevisionscalc.com for the information in this video. Go check them out on Patreon and give them some support. So, as always, take a quick look at this items required for EX jobs, and the thing that you need are the Blossoms of Paradise. It's the only thing that matters. The Broadstones, they're easy. The rest of it, you can farm it. Those blossoms are so hard to get, and they're so hard to decide on whether or not to spend. So hopefully we get some this week, but that is your big limiting material. So for Murmur, we can take a look at her 99 stats, and they're hilarious because she has 895 HP. Now, just like the other Snow White Guard members, they all have good resists, so that's why their HP is low, but still, that's laughable. The rest of her stats aren't much to look at either, so when we go to EX, wow, that's a lot more stats. We got more HP, we have just huge jump up in attack and magic. Look at that, 372 attack, that's really high for this type of unit, and then 468 magic. Agility is still quite low. We'll take a closer look at those stats in just a second, but first let's take a look at the EX abilities. At job level 19, Murmur is going to get resistance break upgraded so that it gives a 30 defense break at max level, and then it will also have piercing. It means it can hit multiple targets. Then at job level 22, Stone Era is going to be able to break attack magic by 39% and then agility by 25%, which is pretty rad if you ask me. And then at job level 25, we're going to get the final form of stone, the Stone Ga, or whatever you want to call it. And this is a 34 AP 185% mod, which is one of the stronger attacks in her kit. And it's going to imperil Earth by 38%, which is very significant. Now, all of you know by now that I love Raldor, and the reason why is his LB. It's amazing, but also it has a big strike imperil, and it basically allows you to one-shot a ton of units. Now, in the case of Murmur, I think that this imperil happens after the attack, but even if it doesn't, it's just going to be a huge boost to Earth teams, and that's a really significant drop in someone's resistance that can get around things like, defense spirit, whatever else, people have. If you have Earth party members, they're going to take advantage of this. I think it's a really good job level 25 skill. Now, taking a look at her stats, we're looking at the difference column between 115 and 120, and these tend to be pretty important for units that are MR rarity or lower. So in the case of Murmur, you can see she gets a lot of HP right here, 406, and then she gets a lot of attack and magic as well, and the base magic, there's a lot of it in her kit, so she benefits from things like buffs. Her agility does not increase, but it's just going to be low no matter what, and then her dexterity and her luck don't take a huge hit either. So really, you want to do this for the magic stat, you want to do this for the HP stat, and you want to do this for the stone upgrade, because that 38% Earth Imperil is very important. Let's do some quick comparisons for Murmur. First up is going to be Phoebe, who is also an SR EX jobbed mage, and she has a little bit less magic than Murmur does, but she has way more utility. She has 59 agility, has the ability to do a bunch of supporting, and has a bunch of move and jump, so she does other things than what Murmur does. Murmur is going to be focused mostly on attacking. Then we have Selma, who is a red mage as well and is an MR and has less magic than Murmur does, but again, Selma has way more to her kit in terms of supporting the rest of the party and buffing herself and others, as well as being able to do things like 100% hit attacks, so there is a clear line there. And of course, Selma has some tremendous magic tanking or magic resist potential that Murmur might not necessarily have the same level of as. But Murmur is going to be a tremendous support for Earth parties, and then as well just have that pretty high magic to do some good damage. And to compare that, we'll take a look at some URs. So Luel and Yuna are both UR 120 units that are magic based, and you can see that Murmur's magic stat does compare with the two of them. Now, Yuna can get even higher with her different buffs and her magic 30%, but Murmur also has magic 30%, so her magic power, it's pretty strong. So should you EX Murmur? Well, I think you should if you're going to be going for the Earth selection quest, or if you want to try her out in cost limited content with Earth party members. Otherwise, I think that she is somebody you can skip, at least for now, because the Blossoms of Paradise are just so hard to get. However, it's going to be very easy to get her shards. If they're not in the Mog shop right now, you're going to be getting them so easily from pulling that before you know it, you're going to have all 400 Mind Spheres in order to take her to 120. So don't forget about her. She'll be there when you're ready for her. And that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.